Welcome back to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And today, unfortunately, Bluey has had a little issue on the way to the studio, so we've got BJ, coming in, stepping up to the plate.
Filling in again. Thanks for having me, Miss Dragonfly. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you back, and I hope you're not too... let's say you've recovered from that.
From the last one?
This last
Oh, my goodness.
That was a big one.
The hard ones. I reckon
was a big one.
I think that Bluey misses these on purpose, the tough ones.
Yeah.
And then you just bring me in for the tough ones.
Maybe that's why. Well, today we've got another tough one, so to speak. Wow. And today's topic is the rise of trad wives, return to family wisdom or romanticized fantasy. Okay, look, this is a good one to do to discuss. Or we need to discuss because recently, as you know, it was featured on 60 Minutes. Right. Australia, and it recently covered the rise of the trad wife movement, featuring women choosing traditional homemaking roles and men saying they want traditional wives. Return back to nostalgia.
So men want this?
Both men and women want it.
Women want it as well?
Yeah, women. Yeah, I mean, look, the segment also, there's, as you expect, some criticism. The segment also raised criticism that the trend may idealise a past that was harder than social media makes it look and makes it out to be, and that financial dependence can affect a woman's autonomy. Well, that was the premise of the episode. Now, yeah, like I said, I'll clarify for those that still haven't put two and two together. Trad wives mean traditional wives. Mm-hmm. It's a short term. And look, both men and women, it's coming back to nostalgia. It's kind of like the modern form where we're pushing equality in everything. To me, this push for equality, meaning everyone being equal, means everyone being the same.
Right.
That's my thinking.
Okay.
Why? Why do you have to be the same? And I guess, look, both men and women are tired of it. Tired of especially the women, tired of trying to be something they're not. Mm-hmm. Are being pushed by feminist movement, and I guess also social pressure from other women as well to toe the line. You know, just keep reiterating the rhetoric not just say it, but live it. Oh, you know, you don't want a family. You have to, your career is the most important thing for you. You know, you don't want to be a stay-at-home wife or mother because then you'll be a doormat. You're resigning yourself to being a doormat and unequal power and that sort of thing. You've heard of that?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing that gets me about this, Miss Dragonfly, is we spent decades, and I mean decades, fighting for women to have choices, to work, to vote, to do whatever they bloody well wanted, to be honest. And now... we're telling women that if they choose to stay home, bake bread and look after the kids, they're somehow betraying the sisterhood?
Yep.
I just don't think it's... Is that liberation, you think?
But they're making it out as that's liberation, but they're saying this is what you really want. You don't want to be chained to the kitchen. And of all things, having children? Really?
Oh, my days.
That's more the thing. Like, all this, people are losing sight of what it's all supposed to have been. Like, it was supposed to giving women the freedom to do it if they want to do it. Now, instead of just stopping at giving women the choice to do it, they're making out that women should be doing it. And if you're not doing it, there's something wrong with you. To go out and work. But also, I guess, you know, like the economic climate's to the effect that before... women, they were trying to push a woman should have the right to work if they want to. Now it's become they have to work.
Well,
because even if they don't want to, because of our economic climate. And that's now, the thing is, economists would give you all manner of reasons why that's the case. Why a single income family can no longer work, is no longer enough. Well, it's really comes back to very simple maths and logic. I think I might have gone through this with you before, is that, okay, things worked with one income before,
Yes, we have
very
spoken about
comfortably,
this.
and one income. Look, you know, the father worked and his wage was enough to provide for the three other people that did not work and also buy a house and go on some holidays as well. Now, when women started working, well, all of a sudden you've got double the money circulating, but the same amount of goods and services and that. So what's going to happen? The price of everything will have to increase. Sure?
Right.
Yeah,
So you think
with
we
inflation.
actually cause our own inflation?
We're
in a
causing
way?
our own inflation to that. This is just mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's not women going into workforce, even if you just double, say, the men population that's
Yeah.
working, same sort of thing. And have the same amount of goods and services available. Because before, look, you've got the same amount of housing because everyone needed needed somewhere to live. Everyone had the same, had clothes. Everyone needed to be clothed and fed, eating the same thing. And was one income was enough.
Yeah.
But then once women went into workforce, hey, all the needs are still the same, exactly the same, but there's more money around. So it's just basic maths.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves here, Miss Dragonfly. You know what the real luxury is in 2026. It's having the option to have one income, really. I mean, most families out there, both parents are working, three jobs between them to keep the lights on, the mortgage paid. So when I see these trad wife influencers on social media in their pristine kitchens, I think good on you, love. But,
Is
let's
this
not
realistic?
pretend this is accessible to the average Australian family.
All right, let's go into
what you said.
Yeah.
It was interesting what you just said there, that you said that because the wife started working, inflation started. I just wonder if she stopped working, what would happen?
If she stopped working, all the women stop working, then the prices have to go down. It's deflation. Well, there's not as much money circulating, is there?
Yeah.
So velocity of money has just dropped.
Wow. Okay.
And supply of money has just dropped.
This is fascinating conversation.
Yeah, if collectively all the women decided, no, we're not going to work anymore, what will happen? House prices have to come down to be more affordable. What else? If even practically, probably wages will have to rise.
Yeah.
To keep people in employment or getting enough wages. Or that sort of thing, and a certain demand would decrease as well. So you're going to have a deflationary effect until it goes back to there's an equilibrium before it settles. So you're going to have some pain with that adjustment period. Yeah.
Wow.
But then then that works. It's kind of a bit the same as like rise of interest rates, cuts demand. Mm-hmm. Okay, but that is basically cut demand here. We're cutting income levels. It's some money supply.
Wow,
but the same amount of goods. So the price has to go down.
Very interesting, Miss Dragonfly.
I don't know why no economist has just point out the blaming obvious. Just like relationship experts, you fail to point out the blaming obvious. You just find someone that you're naturally compatible with. Duh.
Maybe they're popcorn economists.
Popcorn advice. People believe, they miss the blaming obvious.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, I'm with you.
Yeah. They all make sense, yeah. Yeah, look. All right, look. Modern women were told they can have it all, yeah? Career, family, independence, motherhood, marriage, success. But many are now asking, did having it all become doing it all? So, the begs the question, why are some women returning to traditional wife and homemaker roles? And why does this trend trigger such strong reactions? And is this about oppression being a trad wife, choice, burnout, family stability, or all of it? So, look, trad wife. Well, okay, we'll go back to it. Like I was saying, what is a trad wife? A trad wife is a traditional wife. Okay, so being traditional, supporting her husband. It basically refers to a woman that embraces traditional homemaker roles, focusing on supporting her husband, raising children, doing the cooking and cleaning, homemaking, domestic order, feminine presentation, being, don't let yourself go, and the husband as the provider, the family life was the central purpose. And all over social media, I don't know if you've seen them on social media, but on social media you have all these trad wives looking all glam, with it looked like they just stepped out of a hair salon, and they're nicely done, wearing their apron, and they're baking cakes, making cookies and so forth, doing the laundry, and people can see them doing all this housework, and it looks actually quite glamorous, like lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what the videos are. And the women are generally living it, while some others may be doing a really polished version of it. So it's like more aesthetics. It's like almost like an on show kind of thing. So there's people that are doubting, is it really real?
So you're watching this on YouTube or...
Yeah, social media, TikTok, all that sort of thing, Facebook, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
The women, and then so there's people doubting, is your life really like that? It looks too good to be true?
Right.
Kind of thing.
So you think they're glamorising the home wife?
Yeah, yes. There's someone that stays at home. Look, a traditional wife is not just someone that stays at home. At its best, it's a woman who sees family life as meaningful work.
Yeah,
okay, so why is it rising? Look, there's two, like we mentioned before, both men and women are now wanting it. Okay, for the women, it's burnt out. From career and motherhood combined. Some women, I guess, try to have it all, have a career and have a family. But I guess when she comes home at the end of the day, she's exhausted. And then what, they eat takeout? Because they're both too tired to cook. And how much time does she get to spend with her children then?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, normally they have homework and I guess the school expects parents to sit down and help them with the homework. Can she sit down and help her child with the homework?
I mean, it's
too tired.
Definitely standards, I think, of slipping, for sure.
So this is also the thing when people say, yeah, you can have it all. You can have motherhood and your career. But guess what? When you're trying to do too many things at once, you're not good at either of them.
Yeah.
It's just like a jack of all trades. Employing a jack of all trades versus employing a carpenter that just does, say, doors. You're likely to find, and you need your door replaced. He'll be very good at it.
Yeah.
Or it's a plumber that all he specialises in is toilets. So you're going to have the best service. You know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. Specialists,
rather than So if you do going having your career and your family, something's got to suffer. So either your career is going to be stalled simply because you can't put in as much hours as we discussed before, the amount of hours, versus the single guy that can stay back till 9 or 10 o'clock because he doesn't have a family that he had to go home to. Yeah. And there's no one waiting at home for him to come home and cook or do any housework or help them or sit with them or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's fine. So who would get the promotion then? It would be the person that puts in the hours, wouldn't you? And as an employer, that's only fair. You know, you have to be fair and recognise those that do more work to promote those over someone that doesn't do as much, isn't there as much. I mean, not because they don't want to, even because of circumstance. And for her, when she goes home, how much time does she have to spend with the children? They might have difficulties like bullying or anything at school, and they might want to speak to mummy, but mummy's always so tired.
It's hard.
It's hard. Can't spend, and mummy misses all these little cues that something's not quite right.
Yeah. And
the child's to either reluctant to bring it up with the mother either because she just doesn't have time. Later, sweetheart. And then what does the child do? It gets despondent. Oh, just stops trying.
Yeah. A lot of kids are speaking to AI these days.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
No, it's
as,
not.
as something when you've got human emotions involved. Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't be as good a parent then, no matter how much simply because of time pressures.
Yeah.
There's so many amount of time. I mean, the stay-at-home trad wife might have 8 hours a day to be able to spend with their child. From the time they come home from school. But the working mother, she might only be able to spend 1 or 2 hours at most. Even if she tries to jam-pack so much, one, you're forcing it, compacting it too much, and secondly, you're going to miss out. You have to cut out a lot of things.
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job. But that's
all the single mums out there.
So that's exhaustion, and so girl boss. You've heard of that term, girl boss? Yeah, trying to be giving orders, whatever. But this exhaustion of trying to keep up and be that persona, because that's not everyone's personality. They're trying to have everyone to be boxed in.
So do you think that it's because it's been glamorized? Is that by some of these social media things?
Is it realistic or not?
Do you think it's that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it's realistic?
Okay.
You're saying no.
A lot of them is not necessarily if they don't have children. You'll probably say because then they've got time to put makeup on and so forth in kind of the camera. I think this is a lot of the women that do there are doing it as a show.
Yeah.
Like, look, they really are stay-at-home wives. I'm not disputing that, but a large part of it is almost like a theatre show.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Because your traditional wife, there's no one at home. You're not going to bother putting on makeup and doing your hair and dressing up nicely. I mean, fine and well if you want to go back to, that image back on the good old days and put it on just before he comes home from work. So he'll come home and have the wife, the house is all nice and clean. There's a home-cooked meal on the table. His wife has come up to greet him, looking all pretty and nice and well kept together. What does he feel? He feels great. And I guess a lot of men, I guess, miss that. Yeah, you understand. Rather than come home and then 5 or 10 minutes later, or your wife has come home, say, 10 minutes earlier, and she's lying there, she's exhausted, and comes home, the house is everywhere, and she's exhausted, and you can't blame her. Because you're both working, they're exactly the same. You're tired. So, there's exhaustion and also biology. I mean, women kind of like saying, trying to be something you're not, and then go back and say, I'd rather do what I naturally want to do. That's very ideology does not override biology. Okay.
Sounds good, Miss Dragonfly.
That's a big thing. All right. Again. And now trad wives. Men also have a nostalgia and want trad wives. So we're talking. Look, there's a desire for a family-orientated wife. Look, I think men have also been, what do you call it? I wouldn't say indoctrinated, been fed all that rhetoric about, what you really want is a strong, independent woman. Yeah?
Okay.
They think. And I guess it's some men actually buy it because I saw a post once, I think it might have been a Facebook post saying, oh, look, the woman that doesn't go out partying, she stays at home, she cooks, she does this, and that, takes care of you. Those are the best wives. And do you know what the response was? All negative.
Oh.
All negative, practically all negative, including from the men. They said, okay, all right, doormat woman, just run for the hills. Lest something will come get you. And that was from a man. So that's the type of rhetoric that's also men has been indoctrinated to actually think of, like I said, reject the plain woman. What's regarded as a plain woman, because she doesn't have a mirage of degrees behind her, and she's not working in corporate. Okay, she might be simple. She doesn't go never been into a beauty salon. So she actually looks quite plain. But But hey, those are the women that would make the best wives. Those are the marriage material women. And I think there is a small portion of men that are getting it. Look, but I guess for them, they're expecting that glamorous, a strong, independent woman that's so desirable to stay at home and be a drag wife.
Wow.
Guess they're ready.
Well,
but men also have a desire. Look, men are being increasingly made to feel redundant, have they? And I guess there is a desire to feel useful as a provider and protector. And I guess they're longing back to the old days of the masculine and feminine roles. And there's a certain amount of hostility with modern dating. And of course, they want a peaceful home. They want to come home and actually look forward to coming home because it's a peaceful place. It's a refuge.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I think that where this gets a bit dangerous, I think, is when it stops being about a choice and starts being about control. And when blokes start thinking they can demand this arrangement, or when women feel pressured into it, when it becomes ideology instead of what actually works for your family, that's when we've got a bit of a problem. And I think that, if you go to any of the traditional sort of measures, you might have to look at like domestic violence in the home. 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, it wasn't widely reported when it went on. It was considered a private matter, where now it's very different.
Oh, but you know what happened, though, in the old days when it may not have been taken seriously by the cops, but all the local men, if they heard about that, hey, James beat his wife? All right, let's go
sort him out.
We'll sort him out.
Sort it out.
Sort it out that way.
Out of that way. And that's what I'm trying to say is that I don't know if there's any good measures we've got here that we could actually know what the right answer is. Traditional wives.
I've actually got the answer.
Okay.
Everyone can stay.
I hope you're listening out there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Look. One thing I have to say that that 60 Minutes episode, it also featured a Queensland woman saying that she felt more fulfilled being at home than supporting her family after she actually leaving her corporate role. She actually left her corporate job to be a stay-at-home mum.
Good on her.
Yeah, and so she says because she's sick of it. Roberta, back to biology. This is what women naturally want. Okay. Some women want to make something of make something of their lives, or think they want to do an impact on the world, or have something to prove. Go do it.
Okay.
But the main thing is that they choose to, not because they feel they have to. Okay. And look, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, this is advantages for women. Look, a traditional wife arrangement can benefit women when it comes to being able to choose it freely and be supported respectfully. I mean, look, obviously they get more time with their children. They have less pressure to juggle full-time work and full-time motherhood. There's a deeper focus on home and family. I mean, the house is more organised, and you actually get home-cooked meals instead of living on cheap and nasty takeaway because everyone's too exhausted to cook. Okay, and look, and it's more alignment for women that genuinely like and value domestic life. And it will reduce the burnout for both the husband and the wife if the husband can provide well. Look, and for some women, and these women that choose it, being at home is not imprisonment; it is purpose. But it's choice. And if she just chooses to be a stay-at-home wife, she should be respected for that. Okay, but as of course, there are lots of criticism about this and saying it's a disadvantage. And the disadvantages, what they say, is financial dependence. Then, there's a power imbalance because then he's the one earning the money and she's the one that isn't.
That's what I was, absolutely.
And she has to rely on him. They say you don't want to go back to the old days where she's got to ask him permission to spend money on this or that, or she'll feel bad about buying a new dress, that sort of thing. And look, and there's also, I guess, there's no career progression, they'd say, and she'll be vulnerable if a divorce happens. What would happen to her then, even though she might get a nice settlement, but after that, what happens? She won't be able to earn an income. either because she has no skills or she's been out of the workforce for too long. And that happens. Okay. You know, like, and isolation. Isolation, feeling undervalued. And unfortunately, it's not just society that would look down and devalue women that choose to stay at home mums and stay-at-home wives. Some husbands themselves also then kind of like take it for granted and say, oh, what would you know? You're just a stay-at-home, you're just a housewife. Yeah?
That's a good point.
Yeah, and and that 60 Minutes episode, it did have criticism from a professor there who warned that the ideal can involve a false nostalgia and that lack of financial independence would create autonomy problems. You know, look, a traditional arrangement can be beautiful with a good man, but dangerous with the wrong man. You really have to pick the men as well. Okay. And look,
Absolutely.
What's the advantage for men? I'll go through the advantage and disadvantage for men, and then I will go to what I think.
I can't wait. I'm actually waiting for that bit.
It would be okay. Advantages for men. Disadvantage for men. Look, they've got a clearer provider role. Everyone then knows well what their jobs are. Okay, and you get a more peaceful home life. You come home, everything's supposed to be sorted, or supposed to be sorted if you're married correctly as well. There's more peaceful, the wife focuses more on home and the children. The children have a full-time carer. And, there's more stability and there's less competition in a marriage. Couples that work, unfortunately, they compete with each other. That's what they tend to do.
Oh.
Yeah. They shouldn't be. They should be working together. But it's always some of them actually compete together. And there is a greater sense of purpose and responsibility as well. And this ability to focus on the career, knowing that the home life is supported and sorted. Look, a man who has a wife building the home is not getting a servant. He's receiving a partner whose labour makes the family stronger. And so, now disadvantages and the risk for men. Look, there's a heavy financial pressure because then it always then falls on him to provide the income and make enough to support his family then. And being a sole provider in unstable economic times is hard. So, very hard. And, one of the trad wives were interviewed, not in this 60 Minutes episode, another one, but asked, so how do you, with the way things are now that you need two incomes, how could your husband, a woman, a couple do this, achieve this? And she said, one of the things she said, well, you've got to think about where to live and the type of house to have that your husband can comfortably afford. So you have to make concessions that way as well. Yeah. And that is a good point. And like I say, for the women, if you want to be a stay-at-home wife, and then you got to compromise as well in terms of, you're not going to get a mansion, be living in a mansion if he's not a CEO of a top company. Okay, so lower your expectation of the type of house you're going to live, where you're going to live, and how many holidays you're going to go on.
Right.
Yeah. And look, he could end up being there could be resentment on his end if his work is not appreciated, if he's taken for granted. Yeah, that's human nature. That's normal. And it's fear of being financially ruined in a divorce as well, and unrealistic expectation to carry everything. I mean, the man can have exhaustion as well. So everything depends on me. And if he has to be traditional, be the provider, but without getting the support or respect from the wife, then he won't be too happy to do that. So some men want a traditional wife, a trad wife, but not be prepared to be the traditional husband. You know, a traditional husband must bring, what is it? Provision, protection, leadership, discipline, loyalty, moral responsibility, emotional steadiness. I mean, you cannot demand a traditional wife while behaving like a modern boy. That means, you know, even when it all starts out, I guess, when you're selecting, going on a date, who normally pays? What's the tradition say? The man pays.
Man pays.
And if he's unwilling to do that, then traditional life is not for you.
Okay.
Straight off.
Oh, so what you're saying is that there's these telltale signs that a man is a traditionalist. You know, in as you start to date, right?
As you start to date, you can tell, and that's something that on a later show we'll cover.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, all the signs. That you read the signs where they're not.
If you were looking for that type of relationship where you wanted to be the home
maker
and the homemaker and the nurturer, then these are the signs that you
look for. I mean, you cannot say, "Oh, he'll change. You know, I'll change him. I'll convince him." Don't,
right.
because it's not it's unfair.
Yeah.
You're trying to change someone to be something they're not, and that if people need to be themselves in order to be happy.
Yeah.
And if they happen not to be suited to that role, do not force it. Move on to someone else that actually wants it. Okay, that is prepared to do it and of that nature, ready, willing, and able to. Wouldn't that be a better choice?
And what about a man? How does a man establish that, like in the dating?
Dating ACC, that's another.
I reckon that'd be hard. Like I'm trying to think, what would I be looking for? You know?
Yeah, that's so for. Okay, that'll be in our next show.
I hope you do cover it because
yes.
I'd really be interested.
But okay, now you want to ask what's the solution to this?
I do,
especially with the money issue in terms of power imbalance. This is the issue in the West, how they say no, they reject the traditional marriage because of unfair to the wife and power imbalance and financial blah, blah, blah. Let's look to the East.
Okay.
How have they been doing it? Okay. In the East, yes, they do have traditional roles.
Yep.
Because it is a conservative society, but it comes down to why are the roles split that way? Why is it the man has to be the one going out to work and the woman staying at home instead of the other way around? Okay, in Middle Eastern societies, their thing is just like, oh, because he's a man, he's stronger, he should work. That's because he's a man. This is a woman stays at home. In East Asian societies, if the man goes to work and woman stays at home as well, traditional. So on the surface, it looks the same, but very similar. But the underlying reasons is very different. Eastern society is East Asian society is you want to achieve the optimal outcome, the best outcome for your family as a whole, this partnership. So who earns more? Normally it's the man. So he goes out to work then. Makes sense. Who's a better cook? Normally it's the woman. So the woman cooks. So you get the best. If you try to enforce, say, the man and the woman works half the time and then they all take turns cooking, what will you end up having is you have less money and lousy meals half the time.
Wow.
For what purpose? Just to try to make some point. True? So because it's part of the team. And now look, and the thing is, it is a society. Both of them need to be able to do the other person's job, if they have to. Not very well. So the man should also learn how to cook. So if something happens to the wife, she's ill or something, he can jump in and cook.
Yeah.
So you don't both not
working as a team.
We're working as a team. So and look, if the husband happens to have an accident or he had a heart attack or something, and so he's off for a few months. Okay, then the woman jumps in and goes to work. She steps up and goes to work. So she doesn't have to earn as much as him, but enough to kind of like get them through it. Just as if what happens if you injure your right hand? Oh, your main hand, your dominant hand. What do? You start using your left hand more. Okay, you're forced to. And look, it doesn't have to be as good as your right hand, but it's only in the interim while your right hand recovers. Same sort of thing. This is kind of like working as a team. And the other thing is what I said, the man about the financials. The man might go out and earn the money, but it's the woman's job to administer the money. Okay, it's her job to make that money stretch as far as she can.
Right.
Yeah, because.
Oh, that's a woman's role.
Woman's role is because women are naturally good at administration. That's why there's so many secretaries that are women. Predominantly, almost all secretaries are women. You notice? Because it's an admin job.
Right.
Yeah, and so her job is as administer the money, pay all the bills, administer, and if she is even better, is even higher, more skilled, to grow it. To invest the money.
Wow.
To invest the money. That is why when I think that was in 2011 or something, when gold price suddenly dropped like more than $100 overnight, you'd see videos, hordes of Chinese rushing to buy gold. And but if you look at the video carefully at the crowd, they were all women.
Wow. There you go.
Because the men were all out at work or busy at work. So she's got to be on to these sorts of things and rush out and to buy. This is about securing the finances of her family. And so when you've got that she's in the administration role, he's earning the money, there's no power imbalance, is there? If anything, she's in a stronger position with the finances. Wow. So she knows there's lots of horror stories I hear in Western society about men that will go to work and they hide how much money they earn and that sort of thing. And the women are none the wiser because he takes care of anything. And so when they divorce, she ends up with nothing. She's destitute. Right. And that is a sad situation. But in this type of way of doing things, none of that, because she knows where all the money is.
But wouldn't a woman know that she was in trouble in a relationship if the man was dealing with money that way?
If he was dealing with it all, yeah. But that's a traditional marriage, a Western marriage. Is money. The man deals with all the important things like earning the money, and he takes care of all the money. A woman just takes care of the household.
Right.
You see. But Eastern is different.
Okay, so
it's not only that she takes care of the house and the children, she's responsible for the house finances as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why it's so important when they're selecting partners. It's normally, traditionally, a good choice for a husband, good provider. Yeah?
Right.
Good choice for a wife then, for the man to choose or the man's family to choose, is a woman who is frugal. She does not waste the money that her husband brings in.
Yeah.
You see? So it's up to them. You want, for this model to work, both people have to be very choosy in their partners and think of that when they're choosing. Forget about how well he or she plays the guitar, or paint nice pictures. It does not. When you're in marriage life, it counts for nothing.
Counts for nothing.
Really?
Right.
Really? So this is the way it can be done. But the thing is, that's also why you see, and this is a typical complaint about Chinese women for men. All they talk about is money. You know, you want someone to talk about lots of things and be more interesting things to talk about. So this is the thing. Well, if that's what's important to you, then don't complain when she spends all your money.
Got it.
Sure. And this is the thing. Why do Chinese women keep talking about money? Because it's their job to manage money. Just like, if you're a carpenter, you'll be talking about the job that you did and all that. You're a musician, you talk about this hit and that hit, this keynote and that. If that's what you do, you talk about it. They're saying. So, and so, yeah, that's why this is this will get it through the line. This was what will work and work very, very well. Both people are in it as a partnership. And I guess, look, also because of the culture, because of our roles, okay, this is how Chinese women are trained at home to manage money. Okay, and the boys are trained. Okay, that's a good woman. She can manage money. See how frugal she is. That's a bad woman. You see, look at how much her handbag costs. That's why the boy might coming home and say, oh, I met this girl. She's great or whatever. She's a champion swimmer. She can play the guitar. All they want to know is two things. One, how well can she cook? Secondly, how much does a handbag cost? That's all they want to know.
Right.
Yeah.
And from those two questions?
Those two questions. That's all they want to know about her.
Right.
That's all they... Because, look, they agree that it's a man's duty to provide for his family with their son. Yeah, yes, he must provide for his family. But at the same time as parents, they don't want, they want... what they want to know, if their son comes home from work, he's tired, earning that money with his blood, sweat and tears, come home, would he even have a decent meal to eat? From someone just stayed at home and he's providing the whole house and covering all her living? Fair enough, eh?
Yeah, I get it.
As parents. But in Western culture, they don't have that. So the women are not trained to manage money.
Right.
As a culture, yes? Because that expectation is not there. Yeah. So, and look, there are good and bad in all cultures.
Right.
Okay, in terms of their practices and things like that. And there's things, niggling things that's wrong with it everywhere, with all cultures. But if a culture has something that's good and works well, why not borrow from it?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we get it. So that's the solution, everyone. Trad wife. If you want to be a trad wife, also make sure you're good with money, managing money and so forth. And for the men, make sure you're good at managing money, and men to be open to that. Because why? Because then if he knows his wife is capable and they're able to manage the whole household or the money, guess what? He doesn't have to worry about it. Then he can concentrate on his career, okay? That's all he has to do. And guess what? If that's all you concentrate on, you do very well at it. And either your career or your business would just progress very well. True?
Very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, is this the solution to high divorce rates? What do you think?
That's an interesting question. Is it? I don't know. Is having your wife around... I guess, from my perspective, I think that the real enemy isn't the woman in the apron or the woman in the boardroom. I think it's really anyone who tells either of them they're doing it wrong. You know what I mean? I think that it really comes from there. Isn't that right?
You mean criticism?
Yeah, criticism, like of, if that's what they want to do.
Look, the thing is, both of them need to be able to choose this arrangement freely.
Yes.
Like they're not pressured into it.
Yeah.
Like the woman, look, naturally, woman's biology, she doesn't want to have to be out competing.
Right.
Because it's rife. Even in an office environment, and I think a lot of people agree, there's office politics, there's backstabbing, all the bitchiness, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you're clamoring and you're trying to, form plans and schemes on how to beat your co-worker to get that promotion, how to get on the boss's good books, that sort of thing. That all happens. Yeah. It's a competition and it's exhausting. It's like going out to battle. I mean, what suits more, just like in the old days, the woman would prep, maintain her mate's spear and shield and all that for him then either to go out in the hunt or to battle. She supports him. So the modern version, she supports him to go out and compete with other men and bring in the money.
Got it.
There's big competition out there. So, you've got to be clear. Look, women would naturally, if they're going to be honest with themselves, they'd rather stay at home.
Okay.
If they're going to be honest. But if you're going to do it, both of them be free about it. I mean, roles are clear. And also the husband needs to respect the wife's domestic work You know, this is supporting. You've got to get over it's a competition. I'm more important than you. I bring in more than you do, or so forth. Rather think of it as we're in this together. This is a team.
Yeah.
It's team effort. And, you know, the wife also has to respect their husband's provider burden. And both are committed to marriage and family. And you've got shared family values, and money is managed transparently.
That's important.
Yeah, transparently. You discuss the finances and
always talking.
Well, always talking. So he knows. He gets a head up on how things are going with their finances as well.
Yeah, it's important.
Discuss, and so it comes down to absolute trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, you trust your wife to manage the money well and not be screwing it or spending it on herself, you know, scrimping on the kids and just spending on herself, for instance, you know, and that you're actually growing. But then it comes to, in terms of ability for her to grow the money, it comes back to, well, is she capable in her skills? And that comes to you selecting in the first place. Whether or not she's of that ability. Look, she can always learn by attending investment seminars and so forth. This is the thing, whether she's got that mindset of she wants the family to do well. Then she'll take it on herself to do all this, to do her own research, attend investment seminars. And I know there's one lady that she put herself through a property valuation course. Paid to do it. Why? So that when she goes to buy property, search for property for their own family, she know how to value. Not to get a job, but to do it for their family.
Wow.
That's the extent. So it's far more than cooking and cleaning. That's the Western version.
Yeah. The Eastern version.
Eastern version, a woman,
gig.
Different gig. The woman, there's more on the woman, and she's highly respected for that job.
Wow.
Yeah. And even, as I say, even in ancient times, in terms the palace, the emperor, okay, his main wife, the empress, what's her job? Is running the finances of the palace. Same thing.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So
right. I'm going to go home with that. I'm going to go and tell my wife. You are the princess of the palace.
Princess of the palace.
You've got to take care of all of it.
You've got to take care of it. But it all goes back. Look, like I give you the caveman analogy?
No.
Okay.
Give me the caveman analogy.
Okay, back in the caveman world. Okay, when you go to hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, you come, you bring it back, and you eat it. And now, unless you skin it and you preserve some of it, you're only going to be able to eat so much, and then it rot.
Right.
And then you have to constantly hunt.
Yeah.
Don't you?
You're out there again.
Yeah, you have to. But if you were to then spend time smoking, preserving it, then that's time taken away from you doing more hunt.
Right.
You can't get any more in while you're doing that.
Yep.
But what if you had someone else doing the skinning and preserving? Then you can dedicate your whole time to hunting, being even a better hunter, bringing even more in.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you had your partner, her job then is to make your what you bring in stretch as far as she can.
Got it.
Okay? And if she's even more capable, she'll take some of the meat that you brought in, cut it and use it as bait, go out and fish and bring in more. And that's growing it.
Wow.
You see? If she's more capable. Modern times, a man then all he does is focus on his career and his job, bring in as much money as he can, and then she manages it in order to preserve it, grow it. So in times when he can't hunt or can't work, hey, they've got a nice nest egg.
Wow.
Something to live on.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing as modern life.
It's really interesting.
Okay, we're coming towards the end of our show. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Learned a lot.
BJ.
Can't wait for next week.
BJ. So, so in closing, I'll leave you with this. Look, a trad wife trend is not just about aprons, sourdough, and pretty kitchens. It's about a deeper hunger for order, family, femininity, masculinity, and meaning. I'm Miss Dragonfly, and this is the Relationship Whisperer. Let's make marriage great again by respecting the world of building a home choosing partners wisely, and remembering that family life is not a step backwards when it is built with love, wisdom, and mutual respect. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to follow my Facebook pages, Miss Dragonfly and Make Marriage Great Again. Please follow both if you can, but at least follow one. Okay? So, and don't forget to tune in same time next week. And until then, it's bye for now.